Hi guys, so today's practice is a hamstring stretch. So based on lengthening and stretching the hamstrings. So it's good if you're a runner, you've got tight hamstrings, or you just want an overall nice stretch for the legs. So we'll start lying down. So come to lying on your back, feet on the floor with your knees bent. Just going to start by stretching the right leg up into the air. Really pushing the heel up, pressing the lower back down. Just going to point and flex the toes on that right foot. Maybe circling into the ankle, just waking up the ankle joints. And then we're going to bring the hands to the back of the right thigh, just rubbing into the muscles at the back of the thigh. Starting to warm everything up. Still pointing and flexing the foot. And then maybe taking the hands a little bit further up the leg. And then again, pushing the heel upwards. Make sure the lower back's not lifting off the mat. And making sure you breathe in nice steady breaths. Just try to breathe in and out through the nose. We're going to keep hold of that right leg, just relax the foot, and then send the left leg down to meet the mat. Keep the muscles in that left leg working as well. So flex the foot on that leg, engage the muscles in the quads. Maybe keeping hold of the back of the right leg with the hands. Should feel a nice stretch. Keep actively pushing that heel up towards the ceiling. Toes are pointing towards you. Keep breathing. It's going to start to feel a little bit harder now. Maybe letting go of the leg with the hands, bringing them down to the mat for a couple of breaths. Might feel the legs shaking a little bit, but keep that leg active as well. And bring that knee into the chest. Nice hug for the right knee. Maybe just rocking it from right to left. Working into the hip flexor. And we'll bring both feet back to the floor. Moving across to the opposite side, stretching the left leg up. Again, heel goes up, toes point towards your face. Pointing and flexing that left leg. Left foot even. One leg you'll find is generally more flexible than the other. Circling into that left ankle. Again, we'll bring the hands to the back of the left thigh. Just start to rub into the muscles to warm them up. Maybe taking the hand a little bit further down the leg. Keep the lower back pressing down. Just bending and flexing the foot. And then again, bring the hands to the back of that left thigh and start to inch that right leg down towards the mat. Keep that right leg active as well, flexing the foot, engaging the quads. Nice steady breath, don't hold your breath. When we come into a position that feels a little bit more of a struggle, we start to hold the breath. Learn to work with the breath rather than holding the breath. Again, we're just going to point and flex the foot. The more you push the heel up, the deeper the stretch down the back of the leg. And then letting go with the hands. You can keep them there if that's easy for you, but just try and take the hands to the mat. Keep that leg up in the air. Keep a nice bend to the knee if the straight leg's too much. One more breath. And hug that left knee into the chest. Squeeze it in. Maybe moving the leg from right to left across the hip. Lovely. Relax that leg down. We're going to now come onto all fours. into a tabletop position. So come into that tabletop position. We're just going to step through with the right foot. So we're coming into a low lunge. Hands are going to frame that right foot. And first we're just going to start to move gently from side to side to work into the hip. Try to keep the chest lifted, so you may have to come onto the fingertips to bring the chest forward. You can either stay like this, just working into stretching through the front of the hip flexor as well, or you can tuck the left toes under and lift that left leg, maybe move backwards and forwards. So again, now we're stretching through the back of that left leg. We're just going to hold it in that position. Keep pushing the heel towards the floor, as if you're going to push the heel down towards the floor. And then we'll drop the left knee back down. We're going to come onto the heel of that right foot, stretching through the right leg. So we're going to dig the heel into the floor and then feel as if you're pulling that right hip crease, right hip back. Going to try and keep a straight back as well at the same time. So as you breathe in, lift up slightly. Exhale to lean over that straight leg. If you've got some blocks to hand, you can put the blocks either side. Helps you keep a nice straighter back. You feel a nice stretch going all the way down the back of the hamstring. We'll come back onto the foot for a second. Back into that low lunge. Nice little stretch for the front of the hip as well. Again, take the hands to the floor, come onto the heel, toes are going up. To come to wherever feels good for you. We are trying to keep a straight back as well. Drop the hands back to the mat. We're just going to switch legs. So take both legs together, step the opposite one through. Or however you get there, it's up to you. So again, we're on the left side this time, just moving slightly from left to right, working into the hips, giving them a little wiggle. Again, keep the chest up and lifted. Maybe tucking the right toes under, lifting that right leg. Moving backwards and forwards, stretching through the right leg. And see if you can push that right heel down towards the floor. It's not going to reach the floor, but that's the feeling we're looking for. Dropping the right knee down. I'm going to peel the foot off the floor, coming onto that left heel. Again, dig the heel into the floor and feel as if you're pulling the leg backwards into the hip crease. Again, one leg will be a lot tighter than the other, you'll find. Roll it back onto the foot, coming up to our lunge again. Again, a nice stretch for the hip flexors. Taking it back onto the heel, one more stretch for the back of that leg. Lovely, nice work. So bring both knees together. We're going to come to a downward dog. Again, another stretch, good for the hamstrings. So take the hands down to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, send the hips up and back to your first downward dog. So you might have to adjust your stance. You might have to move the feet further away. So come into a feeling of an upside down V shape. And you'll know if you're in the right position, because when you roll through to a plank from your downward dog, you should be in a plank position. And if you're not, then that's not the right stance. So if I move my weight forward so the shoulders come over the wrists, that is how I know that that is the right stance for my body. Everybody else is different. So then from your plank, you can move it back to your downward dog. And that's how you know that that is your correct downward dog position. Again, send the hip bones up. Press into the hands and push the hands forward. We're thinking about taking the chest towards the thighs. Hands are slipping. Yeah, so the heels might not reach the floor. You might have the heels lifted, a nice bend to the knees. Again, that sometimes is better because then the hip bones go higher. You get more of a stretch down the sides of the body. But we're thinking of lengthening the hamstrings. So we're trying to straighten through the legs, only if it's comfortable, to get a deeper stretch down the back of the leg. Again, press into your hands, push into the hands, so you're pushing forward, but the chest is going back towards the thighs, if that makes sense. I'm just going to raise up onto the toes, drop the heels down. Again, breathe in, raise up on the toes. Exhale, take the heels down. Again, one more time, breathing in, up on the toes. Exhale, drop the heels. Lovely. Walk the feet back towards the hands. We're coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. One of my favourite stretches for the back of the legs. Nice relaxing stretch as well. So just have the feet at hip distance. Just going to fold forward, nice bend to the knees, bringing the fingertips towards the ground. So make sure you've got a bit of a bend in the knees. Don't lock the legs out. Fingertips to the floor. Chest is coming down towards the thighs. So just give the head a gentle little shake from left to right, back and forward. Relaxing the neck. You shouldn't have any tension in the neck or the head. And breathe. So we're thinking of lifting the tailbone upwards towards the ceiling and just relaxing the upper body over the legs. Nice stretch for the back of the legs. You can take that bend in the knees as deep as you feel good, as feel good's for you. And with time, that will get a bit easier. It might be tight at the minute. You might not be able to reach the floor, but even if you're touching the legs, the tailbone is going high, and you're just not having any tension in the neck or the shoulders. You can even cross the hands behind the legs. We're working on getting the chest to meet the thighs, first of all, or anywhere near that position. So again, you can take a gentle rock to this position. So just be kind to yourself. Don't push it too far that you actually hurt yourself or strain something. So just reaching down over the legs, just letting the upper body relax. It's actually good for blood flow to the brain as well, so it's a nice relaxing posture. Absolutely love it. I could stay here for ages. We're going to start to roll back up to standing. Okay, last stretch for this hamstring session is stepping forward with the right foot. We're going to step back with the left. Both feet are facing forward, but there's a slight angle on that left foot. So it's forward, but slightly off to the side. The hips are going to face forward. I'm going to take the hands to the hips first of all. Start to lean the body weight forward, keeping a straight back as well. And then drop the hands to wherever they feel comfortable. So again, a nice stretch for the back of the legs. This is pyramid position. So just adjust your feet so that they feel good. They're not one directly in front of the other because that will take you off balance. So this one's slightly further that way. And then start to relax. You should feel a really deep stretch down the back of this front leg. Again, don't go to the point where it's killing you. Just a nice gentle stretch. Don't take it too far. Come up halfway, take a big breath in. Exhale as you fold all the way down. And take a nice few deep breaths in your pyramid position. Bend into that front knee. All we're going to do is swap the legs. Left foot steps forward, right foot's going back on a slight angle, hips are facing forward. So we're already in that position. Going to straighten the front leg, just leaning over that front leg. Again, you will find one leg a lot tighter than the other. This left leg of mine's a lot tighter than the opposite one. Taking some nice deep breaths. Doesn't matter if your hands don't touch the floor in this position. Again, you can use blocks. Always use your props if you've got some, or just find some that work. Bring the hands to the legs, and again, lengthen. Take the chin out so that you're straightening through the back. Lovely. Relax into that pyramid position. And I'm going to bend into the front knee. Bring the feet back together. And then come down to a seated position. Feel free to take a nice little shavasana, a nice gentle moment for yourself. But I hope you've enjoyed the practice. Please subscribe if you've not already. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment. I do like to chat back to you. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.